That was beautiful. Thank you, students and Mrs. Scott. It is my honor to introduce our guest speaker to everyone today. He is a distinguished orthopedic surgeon in the area, Memorial Hospital and St. Joe Regional in Bremen and Plymouth. He has practiced medicine over 32 years and has actually served in the military just about that long, over 30 years. He started out in Desert Storm, and he still is presently going to Afghanistan serving. I was blessed to teach his 3 children here. I had them for math, Noel and Chad and TJ, and they were awesome. And they actually all have military careers now, too. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce a great friend of Grissom, Dr. Charles Ware.
I am extremely honored and very humbled to be able to come and talk to y'all at Grissom today. And, much of it will be directed to the veterans and a lot to the students and to the staff. And I just want to say that when I hear things around the country where there's less support for the veterans that have served, then I'm just extremely impressed with the greatest turnout I've seen here in years at Grissom and all the support that the faculty gives us. Thank you. What I'd like to do today is to talk about not the things that are most famous. The things that I have always paid attention to are things that are common, the movies, etc. And I used We Were Soldiers as a training video on how to treat your men, how to treat fellow soldiers, in a time of crisis, etc. And then Lone Survivor. I mean, that was a extremely difficult book to get through, extremely difficult movie. That was in Afghanistan. And then you have the Unbroken, fairly recent, but takes us back to World War II, and the days of the conflict with the Japanese. And these are the famous things. Today I want to talk about the common soldier. And the caveat is that I may use the word soldier just because I happen to be in the Army and I hear that every day. But that goes for Marines, that goes for the Airmen, and that goes for the Coast Guard service members, etc. In World War II, I knew a couple common soldiers. There was one that lost his dad when he was 13, and he became a bomber pilot. And what was interesting was that in the United States, there were 40,000 pilots that fell to their death in training before they actually made it to World War II. So the difficulty of even getting over there was tremendous in those days, and the cross-continental flights or going across the ocean, that was no small feat. A lot of folks didn't make it there. And then once they did make it, then we lost 15,000 in the fight. And it was just quite a thing for a 21-year-old kid to do that. So that was my father-in-law. As far as with World War II and the Japanese campaign, my dad, he was the last guy cut from the Ohio basketball team as a point guard. So then he volunteered, went to World War II, and they're training to get ready for the invasion of Japan. Do you realize that they had, in anticipation of Japan, they had 1 million, basically they were anticipating 500,000 to 1 million soldiers to be killed in that invasion. So to look at it in the context a little bit, it's a situation where, we did have to drop the bomb, but it was not one of those easy decisions or choices that you want to come by. Same way, whenever father-in-law was dropping his bombs, for him to make it back and survive mentally, he basically was saying, took out a bridge. inanimate object, basically, So everybody has those difficulties. That's kind of World War II time frame. Korean time frame. I know somebody from here who was in the Belgium community and went to Korea, and basically you can put any number of gloves on, you can do whatever, but in that cold, the frostbite was so bad, and basically he was in the hospital, and they're going to take off both his feet and both his hands. And so that time frame, it was amazing because there was only one doctor there that paid attention to him. And basically he said, well, going to take off all the things that are extremely dead, and that included all his tendons. And so it was like a miracle because he didn't have any tendons, but somehow he was able to work every day of his life, in a factory back here in Mishawaka. So that was Korea. When you go to Vietnam, he was basically my best friend. He was going to be best man at my wedding until my dad took over that job. But he was 15 years older and signed up for the Navy. He thought the Navy as a medic would be a decent job. And during that time frame, he'd probably be in pretty good shape on a ship somewhere, etc. So he served with the Marines in the jungle, Vietnam. And, I'd always talk to him, and they wouldn't even see the enemy. I mean, they'd be with their machine guns just lying down, trying to stay out of the sight of anybody, and they just spray the area, and usually in 5 minutes that'd be over. They'd had the little suicide bombers, all that sort of thing. There's so much similarity in a way between the guerrillas of the jungle or the desert or whatever that we're dealing with now. In a way, you see more parallels than differences, even though the terrain is different. Because it is so hard to trust everybody, but yet you want to support the folks that are there. It's quite a juggling act. As you go on further, certainly he was Brigade Combat Team in Iraq, and his job was to basically knock down doors. And so they went into 82 houses. Now, one of the other nights, he busted through the door, and they shot him with a shotgun in his chest, but his body armor got most of it, blew him out the door. So all our guys thought he was dead, and so about 15 minutes later when they came out, he had seen some enemy, so he started shooting at them. So our folks thought all the shots out there were from the enemy, so they about killed Justin. But so Justin's alive and well to talk about that. As far as the current time frame, I have 3 suicide watches this week. Our unit, I have 7 different individual units over in Ohio. They call it the I-71 hospital because it's Cleveland, Columbus, and Cincinnati. And then we have Grand Rapids. But at any rate, the the veterans there in our units are not always doing well. Amazing, the one individual that committed suicide about 2 weeks ago, his family knew that he had deep, dark depression, and the unit, the way we had known him, was upbeat, always following orders, always doing the right thing, etc. So, it's something where you try to stay vigilant, but you just realize that when they gave a percentage that everybody that comes back has maybe a 50% chance of PTSD of some sort, then, be cognizant of that with the ones who've returned, etc. Basically what I want to say, because I was thinking about it ahead of time, I had my 10-minute slot, and I was thinking that I have enough stories to fill up like 3 hours. But I was thinking that really the key for everybody is, and how heroes are made, I think signing up is the part where you're taking that into your own hands, and you kind of know the risks. We were at a time frame when I signed up, it was all for education. It was all to get to college for free, and that's what I did. And by the same token, now it's kind of known that if you sign up, there may be things going on in the Mideast. We still have 10,000 that'll be in Afghanistan, etc. And certainly plenty of things happen there that are memorable. But if you sign up, that's the key. And even if it turns out that you just do it well, that's where you deserve the respect and the honor that we'd like to give you today. There are certain caveats that I've found extremely key, and that I really think that the number of people you can look at and say, yeah, I'm colorblind, is really kind of far between. I think we're getting to be more so that way. In the military, I really feel that. I did have a little bit of a prejudiceness. I did break down people into two groups, low energy, because you could had folks who was doing the right thing, but if they were higher energy, you could figure a way to get them to help out and to care of. And so that's my criteria, and I just think the military has been a great area for watching people and seeing how well they do and gaining your respect. And I just hope on this Veterans Day that everybody is able to feel the positivity. There's a lot of negativity after the Vietnam time frame, and I didn't see occurrences like this. But I'm just real proud of everybody and appreciate the chance to come up and say hi today. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ware, for you kind of took us there. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. At this time, two of our students who are officers of our National Junior Honor Society, Cassidy Kripe and Ann Geralzik, have a special presentation.
Hello, and thank you to the Grissom Middle School Veterans Day program. I'm Cassidy Kripe, president of the Grissom Middle School National Junior Honor Society.
And I'm Ann Geralzik, vice president of National Junior Honor Society here at Grissom.
On Saturday, October 10th, we held a car wash to help support our local veterans at CVS Pharmacy on East Ireland Road. The car wash was free, but people were given the choice to donate money to veterans.
Although we had a slow start at the beginning, people began to come, and with their help, the car wash was a huge success. We were able to raise over $435 for Miller's Vets, which is where all the money we raised went to.
Miller's Vets is a local organization in South Bend that helps veterans who don't have a home or much money to support themselves with.
We wanted to help support our local veterans because they already do so much to help us, so it was our turn to help them.
Thank you for coming today and enjoy the rest of the program.
Thank you very much, girls. At this time, we are going to have some students who wrote thank you essays for our veterans come up and read them. Actually, Mr. Kreska's English class, I think almost all of our 8th graders did write something, and our 6th and 7th graders wrote postcards to send to the veterans through Martin's Supermarket. So let's go ahead and have our readers line up, and then I'll introduce each one of you. Our first student is Natalie Liss, and she wrote something called Veterans Day Poem.
I have something to say to all the veterans on Veterans Day. In a moment of thought, we think of you a lot, for all you have done before it all begun. You walked through that door, ready for a strong, united war. At your house you slept one last night, knowing that you were about to fight. When the guns were about to erupt, you were determined to not give up. You wiped some dirt off your face, knowing that you were fighting for a certain place. You might have been alone and wounded, but you felt loved and surrounded. The war had ended, you and your family came together, and as the sun fell down to the ground, a smile appeared, oh so round. And as these years go on and pass, these memories will always last. So thank you to all the veterans. You are brave, strong, a true hero. Even though you may not be Superman or Spider-Man, you are still our hero. Strength and our courage. Some of us give up on the simplest things, but you would never, and as the years pass, we will remember that forever. Thank you.
I don't have your other one, do you? You do? You don't? No. Did we leave it up there? No. Well, do you want to just read your short thing? Yeah. Okay. This is Blake Trowbridge.
All right. This is about war. Explosions around, bullets flying everywhere for America.
Blake actually wrote a longer one, but I didn't bring that, so he wrote a shorter one too. And you know, in those words, it kind of sums everything up. So thank you, Blake. Okay, Megan, rock.
My poem is called Thank You for Keeping Me Safe. Thank you for keeping me safe, my friends and family too. We can't express enough the thanks that we have for you. You have fought for us out of the goodness of your heart. Without you, our world would fall apart. You put in years of your time to save mine. You are a prime protector of our country. Thank you for keeping me safe, my friends and family too. Words can't even describe my thanks for you.
Thank you, Megan. Now we have Jatin Soni, who wrote a poem for those who fight so we don't have to. Jatin.
Men fell left and right. It was their choice to come fight, and proud to do it for their country take a bullet. The heroes stood still, waiting to make their next kill. With guns on shoulders, shield the wounded like boulders. When they are shot down, they meet the one with the crown, who loudly commands, if you want to enter my land, confess all your sins, and then the soldier begins. I've killed for my own, so others live lives at home, luxurious lives because I have given mine. Their lives are secure, so mine has now been made pure. So I have killed, yes, but so that others are at rest. And God said at last, you may most certainly pass. To the veterans today, we must all honestly say, thanks for this country, where we all now sit comfy. This you gave lives for, in our most terrible wars. Our country 'tis of thee, our sweet land of liberty. Thank you and happy Veterans Day.
Thank you, Jatin. And finally, we have Wood McComish, who wrote Thank You, Veterans.
We are to the freedom of this country. We know that you don't fight for the thanks, you fight for what you believe in, and that is why we should be grateful that someone has raised up and do the. Some people find it unthinkable to put yourself out there and freedom. From the bottom of our hearts, thank you for using bravery and pride. So many people fight and fight, but not many are lucky enough to fight for something so powerful, something that is right, something that America deserves. Freedom to speak our minds, freedom to go to school, freedom to become whatever we want to be. You veterans standing here today are the reason we have this. Some people may not realize that in other countries people can't go to school, or people can't become president or take any kind of stand. Our freedom has been earned by some of the strongest people in our country. It is earned by the people who spend every day training, get up at the crack of dawn. You can't spend the day at home when you need a break. You veterans are strong and you persevere. This is the best quality a person can have. Perseverance, strength, courage, and the ability to believe in what you are doing. All you veterans, no matter what you think, have that. You proved you had that when you enlisted. So thank you for your service, your courage, and your perseverance. You have taught America keep something as powerful as freedom, and everyone here today is extremely thankful.
Thank you, all of our students. I think you can maybe see why we enjoy teaching at Grissom Middle School. Our students are very awesome and very knowledgeable and understanding what people go through. Well, now we're at one of our favorite times where is introduce their student, and Mrs. Campoli is going to. You'll get a booklet, poems, and more that the children wrote. And I'll start with my dad. And when taps starts being played, everyone can stand. And then when it's over, veterans will proceed out again. And students, I want you to watch as they proceed out because they are lined up in order of history. So it's really quite a thing to watch a walking historical timeline go by you. So I'd like you to watch really carefully when they out. Thank you so much, all of you, for being here, especially our honored veterans. God bless America, and God bless each one of you.